Kamara Drive-In. It's the coach. This is the 2021 season on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the
first opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Fielded about a yard deep. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And shedding through the tackle. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally marked down at the 23. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll run. This is Kamara. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
From the gun on 3rd down. Herbert. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Brian Burns in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry for the former Florida Gator, Jordan Scarlett. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. This is Scarlett on the carry. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards and a Panther first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, They want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
47's the mic, boy. 47.
2nd and 10. Newton again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And an alley to run. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Well, a good job shifting right, finding his target. 25 yards that time.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll run it with Scarlett. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That backs them up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Gun.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Panthers, Olsen. Greg Olsen. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here?
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big time.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brian Burns in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, A 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They will start the drive with Scarlett. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now Scarlett. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. On 3rd down, Newton looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Herbert. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down. Now a give here to Scarlett. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Jordan Scarlett, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act is his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On the handoff, it's Scarlett. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Jordan Scarlett as the first half is winding down. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Jordan Scarlett, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2nd and 5. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
60 Pittsburgh.
On 1st and 10, Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
No chance.
2nd and long. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And help, a breakaway for Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is down to 28-10. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown.
Keep putting that ball on the ground.
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Lutz good on the... Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Carolina, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.